Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to really answer your questions about university. A while back I actually put up a question box on my story and I had loads of people ask me loads of questions about university, what my experience is so far. So I thought I would do a Q&A style video to really answer all of your questions about university. So let's get on with it, shall we? So I'm like repping Wicked today as I should. But yeah, I had a few questions come in. Some are really like maybe Lancaster Uni like specific. I can never say that word. But yeah, some of them are like Lancaster Uni only questions, and then some are in general like uni, So I'll try my best to answer them, So the first one is, what's it like making friends at uni? Because I'm scared to do it. I think that's what they try to say. But yeah, how do I say this? It really depends on who you are as an individual. In terms of what interests you, I would 100% like recommend to do like all of the societies, because that's how I've made like loads of friends through that. I also would say there are a lot of people that I've made friends with in my accommodation block, and I think that really comes from like freshers, in terms of how like everyone's in the same boat, so you're always talking to each other. And yeah, I would say always try and like talk to people in your like apartment block, because like they're sharing the same space as you, they're basically in a similar situation to you as well. But yeah, I would say like try and talk to people who are in like a similar situation to you on your course, because they're starting something new, they're in the same situation as well. So I know there are like a few people that I talk to on my course, and honestly, I am so bad at this. I ended up, what was it? There was like a party with someone, and I was like, I knew them from somewhere, but I couldn't place them. And then turns out they're in like both of my like modules, and I was like, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I'm good friends with that person now. But it was so funny because at that point I was talking to so many people, getting to know everyone. Like, it was like, I know you from somewhere, but I can't place it. But what I will say, like, making friends at uni is something that you shouldn't really be like scared about. It's a new experience. I feel like there's so much like pressure in terms of like going out, like being drunk pretty much. And you kind of have to realize that there's like different socials where you can meet people. Like, you don't necessarily have to like go clubbing all the time. But yeah, making friends at uni for me it's been okay so far, but I just kind of want to try and get that message across of it is okay. And if you haven't found people in your first term at uni, again, okay, I have saw like so many people like struggle to make friends, and I've seen like people on TikTok say that they like have got to like second year and they still haven't made any friends. That's what I mean where I say it's all about you as a person. It's like, how do you want to put yourself out there? I know for me, I was very like, I hated putting myself out there for like so many reasons. But now that I kind of have normalized that, I don't really second guess it anymore. I always try and speak to people, and I feel like that's the best way to approach the situation, just say hi. Literally just go up to someone, say hi. You know, it's so simple like that as well. But yeah, I hope I have like answered that really badly, maybe, who knows, but I've given it my all, and that's that's all that matters. But yeah, moving on to the next question. So the next question is, what is university like for drinking culture, as I don't drink and I'm scared to go and be in that environment? Okay, so my well, how do I respond to that? I would say well, for me personally, I'm very sober curious at the moment. I do drink when I want to, and then I like don't drink if I don't want to. You know, it's like kind of like trying to find that balance in a way. So I would say I'm very sober curious in terms of how I'm trying to balance between drinking and not drinking in like social situations, because I realised if I was like coming to uni, I kind of didn't want to feel like I was being forced to drink when I was speaking to people. And I feel like if someone is like trying to do that to you, that is a massive red flag, may I say. But yeah, drinking culture at uni is something that I feel like you should be made aware of, but there is now like sober socials, if that makes sense. There's a lot more like karaoke nights, film nights. There's a lot more like activities that don't like revolve around drinking, and I feel like that's really good, because not everyone drinks, and not having that sometimes can make some people be like, well, if there's this social, I'm not going to go to it, because, you know, it's going to be like drinking, it's a bar crawl, when you have to kind of flip that switch and realise, okay, I'm still going to go to that bar crawl, but I'm going to have like the non-alcoholic stuff, I'm going to have like a soft drink. But yeah, uni and drinking culture is something that it's normalised to an extent, but I feel like there's a lot more awareness now for stuff that doesn't like revolve around drinking, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I would say if you are worried about meeting people and you feel like drinking is the only way to meet people, that is completely wrong, may I say. But yeah, you can meet people through like your accommodation block, through like societies and stuff. There's a lot more ways to meet people that like don't like revolve around drinking, you know. But yeah, drinking culture at uni is something, but it's not as bad as it used to be. The next question, which is, what do you like about your course? I'm thinking of doing like film, but I don't know like what should I look for. Okay, well, hello, film person. Yeah, so well, it depends if you want a long story or a short story. Well, it's a YouTube. We're on YouTube right now, so I'll give you the long story. But I literally would say I have been through like a whole 360 journey of what course I really wanted to do. I think that kind of stemmed from A levels, because originally I went to college and I was like, I'm gonna be a lawyer. I am gonna, you know, be criminal rights. I'm gonna be like human rights, you know. I'm gonna do stuff. I'm gonna give back to people. And I realised law was not for me whatsoever. And then, well, to be honest, the cases got me. I was like, I am not going to remember all of these cases. And then I basically, what happened then after that? I went to sociology, hated sociology, and then I found media. And then I kind of fell in love with media and all that. And then started to think, do I want to get into journalism? Started looking at like journalism degrees. And then I also was still looking at history like degrees at that point. And then I was like, no to history. And then I was like looking at media and cultural studies because I still wanted to have like a sense of history like attached to my course, and then realised I don't want that. And then so journalism was still there, and then it's still there to this day, to a point where I'm thinking, do I do like a post like grad in journalism? And then it's like, no. And then basically out of the blue, I ended up really taking like a gap year as such. I refer to it as a gap year because I'm now older than the majority of people in like first year, and that is so strange. So it's easier for me to say, oh yeah, I took a gap year. It's a white lie, but it's easier for me to describe that instead of like telling everyone like the full story of it. But basically in that gap year I redid my A-levels, and then also took on some like A-levels, got basically then trained up as a youth worker as well on top of it all. And then I basically did like a 1-year qualification in film, and I fell in love with it. I loved the course, and then it turns out I fell back in love with performing and theatre. Didn't realise that you could do a film and theatre degree. So I had a look at Lancaster, and they did the actual combination of it, and that's basically what made me pick the degree. I honestly don't regret it so much. I feel like I'm where I need to be, you know. I am loving the course so far. I mean, this is a new term. I've submitted 2 essays, a workbook, done a performance and a PowerPoint presentation to do with that performance, and I'm loving it. I feel like what I will say to you, depending on like what course you want to do, if it's like film, for example, because that's what like the person put down, do you want film production or like just film theory? I would say the course that I'm on is a mixture of theory and practical. So it's like if you want to do like film production, that I'm gonna presume will be like really film practical, where you're making stuff all the time as well. And I feel like you kind of have to be like, what do I want? Like, what do I want to work on? You know, I feel like I was really tying between film production and film theory, and then I kind of went to Lancaster and I saw that like film theory and like film production was kind of what the course was about. It was like the best of both worlds, as the good old Hannah Montana would say. But yeah, I would say you need to really look at what you kind of want to like go down. What avenue do you want to do? I will say you might not even know what you want to do at this point, and that's okay. But yeah, just have a look at what you want to kind of specialise in. Now, these next 2 questions I would say are quite personal to Lancaster. So, what made Lancaster stand out to you? I feel like I need to cover that for like product placement. But yeah, what made Lancaster stand out? I feel like for me, what was the main thing was that it was a collegiate uni, it was a campus uni. So that meant I would have accommodation on campus. It's on campus, basically like does what it says on the tin. There's lots of stuff here. There's like pharmacies, there's like supermarkets, food outlets, shopping, you know, post office. There's lots of different amenities on campus, and I feel like that's what kind of like sell the whole like idea to me. There's everything here that you need, and I feel like that's what sold the whole like thing. Like as soon as I stepped onto campus, I instantly like fell in love with it. I feel like the first time I came to Lancaster was maybe when I was like 7 years old. I know that's like such a long time now, but I came here on a school visit and I fell in love with the campus, and I was like, 1 year I'm gonna be here, I'm gonna study here, I'm gonna be here. And that was a manifestation that really came true. You know, that's why I believe in like the power of manifestation, because I manifested this to happen. But yeah, Lancaster really was something that just had everything for me. So yeah, that's what really made it stand out. And now the last one the last one, I have to be kind of careful with my like response to this though, so bear with. What is your opinion being at Cartmel College? So I am going to talk about accommodation now, which is fun. So yeah, what made Cartmel College stand out to me? I would say the whole like collegiate system to start off with was something that really stood out. I really like the whole like vibe of like the colleges, because it kind of makes it feel like home for you in that sense. I really like that whole like kind of vibe, if that's the right word, like the whole vibe of like the colleges and stuff. I will say my main thing is to have a look at all the colleges to really understand like what like fits you. Like if you want to apply to a certain college because it's a townhouse, does it have ensuite, does it have like shared, like you kind of need to like understand that kind of aspect to it. But my opinion on Cartmel is really good. I love the whole the vibe of Cartmel. It's quite situated away from like the centre of the campus, and I feel like if I say that, loads of people will instantly go, no, I don't want that whatsoever. But from my perspective, Cartmel's very quiet and it's very peaceful, and I feel like that's from my opinion, because I'm one of those people that if I do like revision and stuff, I'd rather revise in my room rather than a library. If you know, I don't know, like I'm the only person who's like that, you know, because everyone that I speak to like does their revision in the library, whereas I feel like I'm more productive when I'm sat at my desk in my room. But yeah, Cartmel as well, what can I say? I mean, to be honest, I can just really generalize the whole thing, because if you are like watching this and you're like trying to pick where you want to apply for accommodation and stuff, the only thing I will say is really look at what the college offers. So like, do you want an ensuite? Like for me, I wanted an ensuite, so I only knew that there was a few colleges that offered ensuites, so I like tried to apply to like the majority of them as well. But yeah, I feel like Cartmel for me, I'm really loving it so far. I love the people, I love the whole vibe of the whole place. So yeah, Cartmel's a really good place, and if you come here, I've got to do that now. And if you manage to come here next year, or to Lancaster Uni in general, I can't wait to see you on campus. I really do hope that I have answered some of your questions about uni. If you have any further questions about the application process, i.e. UCAS, if you want to talk more about like accommodation and stuff, like want me to do a video about that, please let me know in the comments below. If you have any questions about Lancaster or uni in general, also literally comment down below. But yeah, I really do hope you have enjoyed this video, and I will see you all soon. Bye.